Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First all, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, all. In here, my name is Muhammad Zaki Ardiansyah. Dengan study number is 046 and my group.
My name Muhammad Aldiansah. Study number 031.
And my name is Hari Suhud. My study number 061.
Okay, in here we will present test depreciation. Depreciation, a method of cost allocation. Depreciation is the accounting process of allocating the cost of tangible asset to expense in a systematic and rational manner to benefit expected to benefit from the use of the asset. Allocating cost of long-lived asset. First, fixed asset sama dengan depreciation expense. And number two, intangible sama dengan amortization expense. And number three, mineral resource sama dengan depreciation expense. And the next, depreciation based for the asset. Original asset dikurangi kerugian nilai residu sama dengan depreciation base, yaitu di mana 10.000 dikurangi 1.000 sama dengan 9.000. Oke. Estimation of service lives. Service life often differs from physical life. Companies retire asset for two reasons. First one, physical factor, and number two, economic factor. Uh, in depreciation, there are three methods. Number one, activity method. Unit is of use of production. And number two, strike land method. And number three, diminishing accelerated charger method. In diminishing accelerated charge methods, there are two methods. First one, sum of the use digits, and number two, declining balance method. Number one, activity method. Data for Stanley Colminus. Cost of grant 500.000, estimated use life 5 tahun, estimated salvage value 50.000, and productive life in-house 30.000 jam. Illustration. If Stanley used the grant for house the first year, the depreciation charger is cost minus residual value dikali house this year dibagi total estimated house sama dengan depresiasi, yaitu biaya dikurangi nilai guna mesin dikali dengan jam pada waktu tahun itu dibagi dengan estimasi jam sama dengan depresiasi, yaitu angkanya 500.000 dikurangi nilai residu 50.000 dikali 4.000 dibagi 30.000 sama dengan 60.000. And the next, start plan method. Datanya sama dari yang sebelumnya. Ilustrasinya Stanley computes depreciation as follow. Biaya dikurangi nilai residu dibagi estimasi service life sama dengan depreciation charge, di mana 500.000 dikurangi 50.000 dibagi 5 sama dengan 90.000. Yang ketiga, diminishing charger methods, yaitu sum of the year digits. Each fraction uses the sum of the years as denominator. 5 tambah 4 tambah 3 tambah 2 tambah 1 sama dengan 15. The numerator is the number of years of estimated life remaining as of the beginning of the year. Alternative sum of the years calculation. N dalam buka kurung N tambah 1 tutup kurung dibagi N sama dengan 5 di buka kurung 5 tambah 1 tutup kurung dibagi 2 sama dengan 15. Oh ini. Nah, ini adalah contoh sum of the year digits. Pada tahun pertama, depreciation base-nya 40 ribu, 50 ribu, 450 ribu dari 500 dikurangi 50 ribu dibagi lalu tahun pertamanya tahun kelima remaining live in years 5 depreciation fraction 5/15 depreciation expense-nya 150 nilai bukunya 350. Eh, And selanjutnya pada tahun kedua depreciation base-nya masih sama remaining left in years 4 depreciation fraction-nya 4/15 depreciation expense-nya 120 ribu nilai bukunya 230 dari 350 dikurangi 120 sama dengan 230. Untuk yang selanjutnya juga sama yaitu diketahui tahun ketiga depresiasinya 90 ribu yaitu nilai bukunya 140 ribu dari 23 ribu 230 ribu dikurangi 90 ribu sama dengan 140 ribu. Nah, pada tahun kelima diharapkan nilai depresiasinya itu habis di angka 50 ribu, 450 ribu dan mempunyai nilai sisa 50 ribu seperti yang diharapkan pada ilustrasi di awal. And the next, diminishing charger method. Datanya masih sama, yaitu lalu and next, declining balance method utilizes a depreciation rate percentage that is some multiple of the straight line method. Does not deduct the salvage value in computing the depreciation base. Decline-nya pada tahun pertama memiliki nilai buku 500 ribu, lalu presentasi decline balance-nya 40%, beban depresiasinya 200 ribu, dari 50 dikali 40% sama dengan 200 ribu, lalu balance akumulatif depresiasinya 200 ribu, lalu nilai bukunya 300 ribu dari 500 dikurangi 200 sama dengan 300. Eh, Lalu yang untuk seperti cara yang di awal tadi 300 ribu, 300 ribu. Hmm, sorry. Untuk tahun keduanya 300 ribu dikali 40% sama dengan 120 ribu. Oh ya, balance accumulated depreciation-nya 200 ditambah 120 sama dengan 320 ribu. Untuk nilai bukunya itu 120, 300 dikurangi 120 masuknya ke Book of the Years 80 ribu. Lalu yang selanjutnya component depreciation. IFRS requires that each part of an item of property, plant, and equipment that is significant to the total cost of the asset must be depreciated separately. Illustration. AeroAsia Airlines purchased an airplane for 100 juta di Januari. Sorry ma'am. Before sorry ma'am, ada azan tadi. Oke, next illustration. AeroAsia Airlines purchased an airplane for 100 juta pada Januari 2020. The airplane has a usage life of 20 years and a residual value 0. AeroAsia used the straight line method of depreciation for all its airplanes. AeroAsia identifies the following components, amount and use life. Komponennya ada airframe, engine, komponen, and other komponen. Komponen amountnya airframe senilai 60 ribu, engine dan komponen 32 ribu, and other komponen 8 ribu. Komponen useless-nya airframe 20 tahun, engine komponen 8 tahun, and other komponen 5 tahun. Nah, Computation of depreciation expense for AirAsia for 2020. Airframe 60.000 dibagi 20 sama dengan 3.000 komponen depresiasinya, dan engine komponen 32.000 dibagi 8 sama dengan 4.000, lalu other komponen 8.000 dibagi 5 sama dengan 1.600, lalu komponen depresiasinya 100 komponen depresiasinya 8.600.000, komponen umumnya 100 juta. Jurnalnya depreciation expense 8.600 di debit and di kreditnya accumulated depreciation equipment 8.600. Lalu on the statement of financial position at the end of 2020 year, EuroAsia report the airplane as a single amount, non-current asset airplane senilai 100 juta dikurangi ke accumulated depreciation airplane sebesar 8.600 sama dengan 91.400. Depreciation and partial periods. Household companies compute depreciation for partial period. Companies determine the depreciation expense for the full year and then prorate this depreciation expense between the two periods involved. This process should continue throughout the useful life of the asset. Illustration. Maserati Spa purchased a new machine for its assembly process on 1 Agustus 2016. The cost of this machine was 150.000. The company estimated that the machine would have a salvage value 24.000 at the end of the service life. Its life is estimated 5 tahun and its working hours are estimated at 21 jam. Year end is Desember tanggal 31. Instruksinya compute the depreciation expense under the following methods. A. Straight line depreciation, and B. Activity method. C. Sum of the year digits, and D. Double decline balance. Straight line method. Pada tahun 2019 memiliki nilai buku 126.000 dibagi dengan tahunnya sama dengan annual expense-nya 25.200. Karena dibeli Agustus digunakan hanya 5 bulan, maka 25.000 dikali 5/12 sama dengan 10.500. Lalu nilai bukunya 10.500. Pada tahun 2020 126.000 dibagi 5 sama dengan 25.200 dikali 1 tahun karena penggunaan 1 tahun full. Current year expense-nya 25.200 ditambah dengan 10.500 yang tahun 2019 sama dengan 35.700 sampai akum depreciation-nya senilai 126.000 sama juga dengan current year expense-nya 126.000 seperti yang nilai pada awal periode. Lalu untuk jurnal 2019-nya itu depreciation expense-nya 10.500, accumulated depreciation-nya 10.500. Oh ya, untuk 2024 itu kenapa 7/12? Karena menggunakan sisa pada tahun pertama yaitu 12 kurang 5 sama dengan 7/12. Jadi 25.200 tadi dikali 7 bagi 12 ketemunya 14.700. Jadi nilai current year expense-nya 126.000. And the next activity methods. Assume 800 hours used in 2019. 126.000 dibagi 21 jam ketemunya 6 per jamnya. Harganya 6 per jam. 6 rupiah per jam. Pada tahun 2019 diketahui 800 penggunaannya. Dikali dengan rate per hours-nya 6 sama dengan annual expense-nya 4.800. Tidak ada partial year karena ini menggunakan jam. Lalu untuk current year expense-nya 4.800, akumulasi depreciation 4.800. Lalu untuk tahun 2020 sama seperti yang 2019, cuma untuk akumulasi depresiasinya 4.800 ditambah dengan 18.000 current asset year expense pada tahun 2020, akumulasinya pada tahun 2020 adalah 22.800. Untuk jurnalnya depreciation expense 4.800 untuk kreditnya accumulated depreciation-nya 4.800. Sum of the year digit methods pada tahun 2009 diasumsikan 5/12-nya itu 0,416667. Untuk yang 7/12 itu 0,583333. Pada tahun 2019 nilainya 126 dikali 5/15. Annual expense-nya 42.000 dikali partial year-nya 5/12. 5/12, current year-nya 17.500. Akumulasi depreciation-nya 17.500 karena tahun pertama 2020. eh, Kenapa 4,58? Karena menggunakan sisa dari tahun yang sebelumnya. Lalu annual expense-nya 38.500 dari 126 dikali 4,58 per 15. Untuk partial year-nya itu menggunakan sisa dari tahun yang kemarin, yaitu sebanyak 7 bulan dibagi 12. Jadi 38.500 dibagi 7/12 sama dengan 38.500 ditambah dengan 17.500. Untuk mengetahui akumulasi depreciation pada tahun 2020 adalah 56.000. Untuk tahun-tahun selanjutnya sama seperti yang digunakan pada 2019 dan 2020 tadi. Untuk journal entry-nya depreciation expense 17.500, accumulated depreciation-nya 17.500. Lalu double declining balance method. Pada tahun 2019, tahun pertama itu nilainya 150.000 dikali 40%. Kenapa 40%? Karena satu tahunnya itu rate per year-nya 20%. Karena ini double declining balance method, maka dikali 2 yaitu sama dengan 40%. 150.000 dikali 40% sama dengan 60.000 dikali 5 bulan penggunaan, yaitu 5/12 sama dengan 25.000. Lalu tahun 2020 itu 25.000 itu dari 150 dikurangi 25.000 sama dengan 125 ini tadi dikali 40% sama dengan 50.000. Sepatu lahirnya 1 karena digunakan 1 tahun penuh. Maka nilai current year expense-nya 50.000. Dan untuk 2023 itu kenapa fluk? Karena kan tahun terakhir menggunakan sisanya tadi supaya tidak mendekati angka 0. Untuk jurnalnya depreciation expense 25.000, accumulated depreciation-nya 25.000. Depreciation and replacement of PPNA. Does depreciation profit from the replacement of asset does not involve a current cash outflow. Fund for the replacement of the asset come from the revenues generated through use of the asset. Oke, for the next akan dijelaskan oleh rekan saya yaitu Haris.
Okay, and next, other depreciation issues. Revision of depreciation rates. How should companies handle revisions in depreciation rates? Accounted for in the current and prospective period, not handle retrospectively. not considered errors or ex extraordinary items. Next, revision of depreciation rates. Arcadia HS purchase equipment for $510.000 which was estimated to have a useful life of 10 years with a residual value of $10.000 at the end of that me. Depreciation has been recorded for 7 years on a strategic land basis in 2019 year 8. It is determined the total estimation left should be 15 year with a residual value of $5.000 at the end of that time. Question: what is the journal entry to correct the prior year's depreciation? Calculate the depreciation expense for 2019. Next. Nggak kelihatan. Revision of depreciation rates, equipment cost $510 dikurangi sell fake value $10 sama dengan depreciation base $500. Sell original 10 years, annualized depreciation $50 kali 7 years sama dengan $350. Balance sheet sale Desember 31 2018, equipment $510 dikurangin accumulated depreciation 350 sama dengan net book value atau NBV $160. And next, net book value yang sebelumnya yang $160 dimasukin sell dan ditambah sell fake value 5.000 sama dengan depreciation base-nya 155.000. Reset life remaining 8 years, annual depreciation-nya 375.000. Journal entry for 2019, depreciation expense 19.375 dan kreditnya accumulated depreciation 19.375. And next, impairments. Recognizing impairments along lived tangible asset is impaired when a company is not able to recover the assets carrying amount either through using it or by selling it. On an annual basis, companies review that asset for indicator of impairments that is decline in the asset's cash generating ability, focus or sell. Next. Recognizing impairments. If impairments indicator are present, then an impairment test must be conducted. Carrying amount ke compared to re, recoverable amount, terus ke higher of, terus lanjutnya ke fair value, cost to sell, and value in use. Next. Example, assume that cruise is a performance and an impairment test for is equipment. The carry amount of cruise equipment is 200.000 euro. Its fair value less cost to sell is 180.000 euro, and its value in use is 205.000 euro. Next. Example, assume the same
Impairment loss. Impairment lossnya 20.000. Impairment loss
impairment loss
20.000
20.000
dari tarik
dari impairment loss 20.000, 200.000 dikurangi 20.000 sama dengan 180.000. Sorry. 200.000 dikurangi 180.000 sama dengan impairment loss-nya 20.000. Next. Cross makes the following entry to record the impairment loss. Journal entry loss on impairment 20.000 di debit and credit accumulated depreciation equipment. Next. Case 1 at Desember 31 2020 Hanoi Ltd has equipment with a cost of PND 26 juta and accumulated depreciation of PND 12 juta. The equipment has a total useful value life of 4 years with a residual value of 2 juta. The following information relates to this equipment. One, the equipment carrying amount at Desember 31 2020 is PND 14 juta dalam kurung 20 buka kurung 26 juta dikurangi 12 juta. Itu Hanoi terus strike line depreciation. Hanoi's depreciation was 6.000 buka kurung 26 juta dikurangi 2 juta tutup kurung dibagi 4 for 2020 and is recorded. Hanoi has determined that the recoverable amount for this asset at Desember 31 2020 is 11 juta. For the remaining useful life of the equipment after Desember 31 2020 is 2 years. Next. Juta dikurangi 11 juta, hasilnya impairment loss-nya 3 juta. And the next, loss on impairment loss and payment credit and debit and creditnya accumulated depreciation equipment. Next, equipment dikurangi accumulated depreciation equipment sama dengan carrying value. Jadi 26 juta itu dikurangi 15 juta jadi 11 juta. Karena LTD determined that the equipment total useful life has not changed, remaining useful life is still 2 years. However, the estimated residual value of the equipment is now zero. Hanoi considering following journal entry to record depreciation for 2021 depreciation expense 5.500 juta. Accumulated depreciation-nya the accumulated depreciation equipment-nya 5.5 juta. The next present value of 5 annual payment of 40 dibuka kurung dikali 40.000 dikali 3,99271 tabel 6 sampai 4 tadi. And present value of residual value of $10.000 dikali buka kurung 10.000 dikali 68058 tabel 6 sampai 1 yang tadi. Jadi hasilnya itu value in user related to machine. Jadi 159.708,40 dikurangi 6.805,480 sama dengan 166.514,20. Next. Computation of the impairment loss on the machine at the end of 2019. 200.000 dikurangi 166.514 sama dengan 33.486. Jadi know-nya 166 value in use 166.514. And next. Computation of the impairment loss on the machine at the end of 2019. Jadi 200.000 dikurangi 166.514 sama dengan 33.486 impairment loss. And jurnalnya loss on impairment dan kreditnya accumulated depreciation machinery 30.486. And next. Illustration dan group purchase equipment on January 1, 2019 for $300.000 useful life of 30 years and no residual value. Year 2019 2019-nya 100.000, HQ 300.000, carrying amount-nya 200.000. 2020 100.000 kali 300.000 per 3, carrying amount 100.000. 2021 depreciation expense-nya 100.000 dikali 300.000 per 3 dengan 0. Carrying amount 0. At Desember 31 2019 then record an impairment loss of 20.000. Loss in journal entry loss on impairment 20.000 and credit accumulated depreciation equipment 20.000. Next, depreciation expense and related carrying amount after the impairment. 2020 depreciation expense-nya 90.000 dalam kurung 180.000 per 2 dan carrying amount-nya 90.000. Dan 2021 90.000 dalam kurung 180.000 per 2 and carrying amount-nya at of 2020 determines that the recoverable amount of the equipment is $96.000 dan reverses the impairment loss accumulated depreciation equipment-nya 6.000 dan kreditnya recovery of impairment loss 6.000. Next. Cash generating units when it is not possible to assess a single asset for impairment because the single asset generates cash flows only in combination with other asset companies identify the smallest group of assets that can be identified that generated cash flow independently of the cash flow from other asset. Next, impairment of asset to be disposed of. One, report the impaired asset at the lower of cost or net realizable value or fair value less cost to sell. Two, no depreciation or amortization is taken on assets held for disposal during the period they are held. Three, can worth up or down an asset held for disposal in future period, as long as the carrying amount after the worth up never exceeds the carrying amount of the asset before the impairment. Next. Jadi, okay, next. Impairment test for recoverable amount less that carrying amount. Kalau ke impairment yes and no impairment no. Impairment ke asset held for use. One, impairment loss excess of carrying amount over recoverable amount. And two, depreciation on new cost basics. Three, reversal of impairment loss per method. Asset held for sale or disposal. One, lower of cost or fair value, less cost to sell or net realizable value. And two, no depreciation taken. Next. Depreciation natural course can be divided into two categories. And next, Natural resources can be divided into two categories. One, biological asset, timberlands, fair value of price, chapter 9. Two, mineral resource, oil, gas, and mineral mining. Complete removal, consumption of the asset, replacement of the asset only by an act of nature. Next, establishing a depreciation base. Composition of the depreciation base involves one, exploratory cost, and two, exploratory and evaluation cost, three, development cost. Next, uh, depreciation were of record cost. Normally, companies compute depreciation on units of production method activity approach. Depreciation is a function of the number of units extracted during the period. Calculation total cost dikurangi residual value dibagi total estimated unit variable sama dengan depreciation cost per unit. And units extracted dikali cost per unit sama dengan depreciation. And the next slide dilanjutkan oleh rekan saya.
Sini tak, sini tak. Halo, Dre. Pausen, Dre. Apa kemarin ono, Dre?
Miklet SA acquired the right to use 1.000 acres of land in South Africa to mine for silver. The last cost is 50,000 The relaxed exploration cost on the property are 100,000 in intangible development cost incurred in opening the main are 850.000. Miklet estimasi that the main will profit approximately 100.000 unit cost of gold. Total cost dikurangi residual value dibagi total estimate units available sama dengan depletion cost per unit. Jadi 1.000 dibagi sama 100, 1 juta dibagi sama 100 sama dengan 10 per once. Next. If Macleod extract 25.000 units in the first year, then the depletion for the year is 250.000. Jadi 25 units dikali sama 10 tadi hasil debit 250.000, kredit accumulation 250.000. Miklet statement of financial position Silverman at cost 1 juta, less accumulated depletion 250.000 dikurang sama dengan 750.000. Next. Estimating recoverable reserves. Same as accounting for change in estimates, revise the depletion rate on prospective basis. Fit the remaining cost by the new estimate of the recoverable reserves. Next, liquidating dividends greater than the amount of accumulated net income. Illustration, Kalahan Mining had a retained earning balance of 1.650.000, accumulated depletion on mineral properties of 2.100.000, and share premium of 5.435.493. Kalahan's board declared a dividend of 3 a share on the 1 juta shares outstanding. It records the 3 juta cash dividend as follow. Jurnal retained earning 1.650.000, share premium ordinary 1.350.000. Next, ini cash credit cash 3 juta. Presence on the financial statement. Declarers relates to E&E expenditure results include 1. Accounting policies for exploration and evaluation expenditures, including the recognition of E&E asset. Amount 2. Amount of asset, liabilities, income and expense, and operating cash flow arising from the exploration for an evaluation of mineral resources. Next, recognizing revaluation. Companies may value long-lived tangible assets subsequent to acquisition at cost or fair value. Network Rail GBR elected to use fair values to account for its railroad network. Increased long-lived tangible asset by 4.289 million, change in the fair value account for by adjusting the asset account and establishing an unrealized gain. Next, Revolution Land Illustration Sam's Group due purchase land for 1 juta on January 5, 2019. The company elects to use revaluation accounting for the land in subsequent periods. At December 31, 2009, the land's fair value is 1.200.000. The entry to record the land at fair value is as follow. Jurnal land 200.000, kreditnya ada unrealized gain on revaluation land sebesar 200.000. Revaluation depreciable asset. Illustration, Lenovo Group CHN purchase equipment for 500.000 on January 2, 2019. The equipment has a useful life of 5 years. It's depreciated using the straight line method of depreciation, and its residual value is 0. Lenovo choose to revalue its equipment to fair value over the life of the equipment. Lenovo records depreciation expense of year 100.000. Jadi 500.000 dibagi sama 5 at December 31, 2019 as follow. Depreciation expense debit, accumulated depreciation equipment credit sebesar 100.000. Oke, next. Next. Revaluation depreciable asset. After this entry, Lenovo equipment has a carrying amount of 400.000, terus 500.000 dikurangi sama 100.000. Lenovo reaches first an independent appraisal for the fair value of equipment at December 31, year 2019, which is 460.000. Accumulated depreciation equipment 100.000. Jurnal equipment 40.000 and unrealized gain on revaluation equipment 60.000 pada kredit. Next. Revaluation depreciable of comprehensive income. The comprehensive income unrealized gain on revaluation equipment sebesar 60.000. Statement of financial position, non-current asset equipment 500.000, dikurangi sama 40.000, sama dengan 460.000. Akumulasi depreciation equipment 100 dikurangi sama 100, 0. Carrying amount 460.000. Equity accumulated other comprehensive income sebesar 60.000. Under no circumstances can the accumulated other comprehensive income account related to revaluation have a negative balance. Okay, next. Revaluation issues. Company can sell asset, say building and or equipment. If a company selects only building, revaluation applies to all asset in the class of asset. Terus, a class of asset is a grouping of items that have a similar nature and use in a company operation. Three companies must also make every effort to keep the asset values up to date. Next. Presentation of property plan and accumulated asset use of accumulated depletion account or the direct reduction of asset. The clauses basis of valuation usually cost, terus pledges, loans, and other commitments. Next. Analysis of property, plant, and equipment asset turnover. Siemens Group net sales 79,64,4. Terus total aset dan bulan 30 2016 125,717. Kemudian total asetnya pada bulan 9 tanggal 30 tahun 15 sebesar 120,348. Net income-nya 5.584. Kemudian aset turnover net sales dibagi average total aset. Jadi 79.644 dibagi sama 125.717 ditambah sama 120.348 dibagi 2 sama dengan 0,65. Next. Ya, profit income 5.500 8 bagi sama 79.644 sama dengan 7,0%. Return on asset, net income-nya average total asset dari 5.584 dibagi sama 125.717 ditambah 120.348 dibagi 2. Di total hasilnya 4,5%. Precision and analysis profit on sales to the we can how profitably the company used asset during that period of time in a measure of the return on asset. Return on asset sama dengan profit margin on sales dikali asset turnover. Kemudian net income dibagi sama average total asset. Kemudian sama dengan net income dibagi sama net sales dikali average total asset. Jadi rate of return asset sebesar 5.000 dibagi sama 17.82 hasilnya 4%. On sale 584 sama 9.644 hasilnya 7,0%. Terus aset turnover 79.644 dibagi sama 125.717 ditambah sama 120.348 dibagi 2. Hasilnya 6,5. Jadi 70% ini dikali sama 65. Oke, next. 0,65. Next. Revaluation of property, plant, and equipment. The general rules for revaluation accounting are as follows. 1. When a company revalues its long-lived tangible asset above historical cost, it reports an unrealized gain that increase or the comprehensive income. 2. If a company experiences a loss on impairment, decrease of value below historical cost, the loss reduces income and retained earning. Thus, gain on revaluation increase equity but not net income. Next. 3. If a revaluation increase reverses a decrease that was previously reported as an impairment loss, a company credits the revaluation increase to income using the account recovery of impairment loss up to the amount of the prior loss. And additional valuation increase above historical cost increase order comprehensive income and is credited to unrealized gain on revaluation. 4. Is a revaluation decrease reverses in case that was reported and as unrealized gain, a company first reduces other comprehensive income by eliminating the unrealized gain, and any additional valuation decrease reduces net income and is reported as a loss on impairment. Next. Revaluation year 2019 valuation increase. Assume that Unilever Group, CBR, and NLD purchase land of January 1, 2019 that cost 400.000. Unilever decides to report the land at fair value in subsequent periods at December 31, 2019, and appraisal of the land indicates that its fair value is 520.000. Unilever makes the following entry to record the increase in fair value. Land 120.000 debit and you realized gain of revaluation land 120.000 kredit. Jadi 520.000 dikurangi sama 400. Hasilnya 120.000. Oke, next. Revaluation 2019 valuation increase. That Januari 1 2019 sampai Desember 31 2019 item beginning balance land fair value 400.000, retail net earning 0, 0, accumulated total comprehensive income 0, 0. Kemudian pada Desember tanggal 31 2019 revaluation item land fair value 120.000, retail earning 0, accumulated other comprehensive income 120.000. Kemudian ending balance-nya land fair value 520.000, returning earning 0, accumulated other comprehensive income 120.000. Land is now reported as its fair value of 520.000. Terus the increase in the fair value of 120.000 is reported on the statement of comprehensive income. Next. The ending balance in realized sebelumnya Mas. The ending balance in unrealized gain on revaluation land is reported as accumulated other comprehensive income in the equity section. Okay, next. What's happened if the land fair value at December 31, 2020 is 380.000, a decrease of 140.000, 520.000 dikurangi sama 380.000. In this case, the land fair value is below its historical cost. Unilever makes the following entry on December 31, 2020 to record the decrease in fair value of the land. Unrealized gain on revaluation land 120.000, loss on impairment 20.000 pada debit land 520.000 dikurangi sama 380.000, 140.000 kredit. Next. Sesuai aja. Revaluation 2020 decrease below cost. That Januari tanggal 1 2019 item beginning balance land fair value 400.000, return earning 0, accumulated other comprehensive income 0. Desember 31 2019 item revaluation land fair value 120.000, returning earning 0, accumulated other comprehensive income 120.000. Kemudian ending balance-nya sama seperti yang sebelumnya 520.000 terus 0, kemudian accumulated of their comprehensive income-nya 120.000. Jadi Januari tanggal 1 2020 beginning balance 520.000, returning earnings 0, accumulated other comprehensive income 120.000. Pada Desember 31 tahun 2020 revaluation land fair value-nya sebesar 140.000, kemudian return earning-nya 20.000, accumulated other comprehensive income 120.000. Pada Desember 31 2020 ending balance-nya jadi 520.000 dikurangi sama 140.000, hasilnya 380.000, kemudian return earning-nya sama 20.000, accumulated other comprehensive income-nya 0. The debit to unrealized gain on revaluation land of 120.000 reduces other comprehensive income, which reduces accumulated other comprehensive income. The debit to loss on impairment of 20.000 reduces net income and return earning. Okay, next.
Yuk, mulai.
Okay. My name is Norma Suryani. My study number 034. Selanjutnya itu ada revaluation 2021. recovery of impairment loss. At Desember 31, 2021, Unilever's land value increased to 415.000 and increase of 35.000. 415.000 dikurang 38.000. In this case, the loss on impairment of 20.000 is reversed and the remaining increase of 15.000 is reported in other comprehensive income. Unilever makes the following entry to record this transaction. Di debit land 35.000, di kreditnya unrealized gain on revaluation land 15.000. Okay, next. Selanjutnya itu valuation 11A.3. Di sini ada data Desember 31, 2020, item ending balance, land fair value 380.000, returning earning itu minus 20.000, accumulated other comprehensive income 0. Data selanjutnya Juni tanggal 1, 2021, item beginning balance, land fair value 38.000, return earning minus 20.000, accumulated other comprehensive income-nya 0. Desember 31, 2021, item revaluation land fair value 35.000, return earning 20.000. Accumulated other comprehensive income-nya 15.000. Data Desember 31, 2021, item ending balance, land fair value 415.000. Return earning-nya 0. Accumulated other comprehensive income-nya 15.000. On Januari tanggal 2, 2022, Unilever sell the land for 415.000. Unilever makes the following entry to record this transaction. Debit cash 415.000, credit land 415.000. Next. Terus since the land is sold, Unilever has the option to transfer accumulated other comprehensive income to retained earning. Itu di debitnya ada accumulated other comprehensive income 15.000, di kreditnya retained earning-nya 15.000. Okay, next. Revaluation 2021, recovery of impairment loss. 1. The purpose of this transfer is to eliminate the unrealized gain on the land that was sold. 2. Transfers for accumulated other comprehensive income connect increasing net income. 3. Even though the land has appreciated in value by 15.000, Unilever is not able to reckoning this gain in net income over the period the in held the line. Next. Revaluation of depreciable asset. Revaluation 2019. Valuation increase. Assume that Nokia FEN purchase equipment for 1 juta on January 2019. The equipment has a useful life of 5 years. Is depreciation using the line method of depreciation and its residual value is 0. Nokia causes to revalue its equipment to fair value over the life of equipment on Desember tanggal 31 2019. Nokia record depreciation expenses of 200.000, 1 juta dibagi 5 as follows. Desember depreciation expense 200.000, credit accumulated depreciation equipment 200.000. Next. Revaluation 2019. Valuation increase. After this entry, Nokia equipment has a carrying amount of 800.000, 1 juta dikurang 200.000. Nokia employ an independent appraiser who determined that the fair value of equipment at December 31, 2019 is 950.000. To report the equipment at fair value, Nokia does the following. 1. Reduces the accumulated depreciation equipment account to 0. 2. Reduces the equipment account by 50.000. It that is reported at its fair value of 950.000. Okay, next. Three, record an unrealized gain of revaluation equipment for the difference between the fair value and carrying amount of the equipment, or 150.000 950.000 dikurang 800.000. The entry to record this revaluation at December 31, 2019 is next. Debitnya accumulated depreciation equipment 200.000, kreditnya equipment 50.000. Next. Selanjutnya, revaluation 2019, valuation accuracy illustration 11A.4 data Januari tanggal 1 2019 item beginning balance equipment fair value-nya 1 juta. Accumulated depreciation tidak ada. Retaining earning tidak ada. Accumulated other comprehensive income 0. Data Desember 31 2019 item depreciation di accumulated depreciation 200, di retaining earning-nya minus 200. Data Desember 31 2019 item revaluation equipment fair value-nya minus 50.000. Accumulated depreciation minus 200. Accumulated other comprehensive income-nya 150. Desember 31 2019 ending balance-nya di equipment fair value 950. Retaining accumulated depreciation 0. Retained earning-nya minus 200. Accumulated other comprehensive income-nya 150. The carrying amount of the asset is now 950. Nokia reports the depreciation expense of 200.000 in the income statement and unrealized gain on revaluation equipment of 150 in other comprehensive income. Next. Next, Zaki. Oke. Selanjutnya, revaluation 2020. The tracy below historical cost, assuming no change in the useful life of the equipment. The depreciation expense for Nokia in 2020 is 237.500. 950.000 dibagi 4. And the entry to record depreciation expense on December 31, 2020 as follows. Depreciation expense 237.500 debit. Accumulated depreciation equipment 237.500 credit. Under IFRS, Nokia may transfer for AOCI the difference between depreciation based on the revalued carrying amount of the equipment and depreciation based on the asset original cost to return earning. Okay, next. Next, Zaki. Depreciation based on the original cost was 200.000, 1 juta dibagi 5. And on fair value is 237.500 or a difference of 37.500. 237.500 dikurang 200. The entry to record this transfer at Desember 31, 2020 is as follows. Debit accumulated other comprehensive income 37.500. Credit returning earning 37.500. Before revaluation in 2020, Nokia has the following amounts related to its equipment. Equipment 950.000 less accumulated depreciation equipment 237.500. Itu dikurang jadi ke carrying amount 712.500. Accumulated other comprehensive income-nya jadi 112.500 dari 150.000 dikurang 37.500. Nokia determines through appraisal that the equipment now has a fair value of 570.000. To report the equipment at fair value, Nokia does the following. 1. The purchase the accumulated depreciation equipment accounts of 237.500 to 0. 2. Reduces the equipment accounts by 380.000. 950.000 dikurang 570.000. It is report as is at is for value of 570.000. Next. Three, reduces unrealizing gain on revaluation equipment by 112.500 to offset the balance in the unrealizing gain account related to the revaluation in 2019. 4. Records a loss on impairment of 30.000. Jurnalnya di debit accumulated depreciation equipment 237.500. Loss on impairment 30.000. Unrealizing gain on revaluation equipment 112.500. Di kreditnya equipment sebesar 380.000. Next. Data Desember 31, 2019. Item ending balance equipment fair value-nya sebesar 950.000. Accumulated depreciation 0. Retaining earning minus 200.000. Accumulated other comprehensive income sebesar 150.000. Data Januari 1, 2020. Item beginning balance equipment fair value-nya sebesar 950.000. Accumulated depreciation-nya 0. Retained earning minus 200.000. Accumulated other comprehensive income sebesar 150.000. Desember 31, 2020, depreciation accumulated depreciation-nya sebesar 237.500. Retained earning minus 237.500. Accumulated other comprehensive income tidak ada. Desember 31 2020 transfer for AOCI retained earning-nya sebesar 37.500. Accumulated other comprehensive income-nya minus 37.500. Desember 31 2020 item revaluation equipment fair value-nya minus 380.000, accumulated depreciation-nya minus 37.500, retaining earning 30.000, accumulated other comprehensive income 112.500. Desember 31 2020 ending balance di equipment fair value sebesar 570.000, accumulated depreciation 0, dan retaining earning minus 430.000, accumulated other comprehensive income 0. The carrying amount of the equipment is now 570.000. Nokia report depreciation expense of 237.500 and the performance loss of 30.000 in the income statement. Nokia report the reversals of the previously recorded unrealizing gain by recording the transfer to retained earning of 37.500 and the entry to unrealizing gain on revaluation equipment of 112.500. Next. Recovery of impairment loss, assuming no change in the useful life of the equipment. Depreciation expense for Nokia in 2021 is 190.000. 570.000 dibagi 3. And the entry to record depreciation expense on Desember 31, 2021 as follows. Debit depreciation expense sebesar 190.000, kreditnya accumulated depreciation equipment 190.000. Next. Nokia transfer the difference between depreciation based on the revalued carrying amounts of the equipment and depreciation based on the asset original cost for AOCI to retain earning depreciation based on the original cost was 200.000, 1 juta dibagi 5, and on fair value is 190.000. Debit retain earning 10.000, kreditnya accumulated other comprehensive income 10.000. Before revaluation in 2021, Nokia has the following amounts related to its equipment. Equipment sebesar 570.000 less accumulated depreciation equipment sebesar 190. 570.000 dikurang 190.000 jadilah carrying amount sebesar 380.000. Terus accumulated other comprehensive income-nya 10.000. Next. Nokia determines through appraisal that the equipment now has a par value of 450.000 to report the equipment at par value. Nokia does the following. 1. Reduces the accumulated depreciation equipment account of 190.000 to 0. 2. Reduces the equipment account by 120.000, 570.000 dikurang 450.000. It is reported at its par value of 550.000. 3. Record an unrealized gain on revaluation equipment for 40.000. Next. For record and recovery of loss on impairment for 30.000. Nokia determines through appraisal that the equipment now has a fair value of 450.000 to report the equipment at fair value. Nokia does the following. The entry to record this transaction is as follows. Di debitnya accumulated depreciation equipment sebesar 190.000. Kreditnya unrealized gain on revaluation equipment sebesar 40.000. Equipment 120.000. Recovery of loss on impairment sebesar 30.000. Okay. Data Desember 31, 2020, item ending balance, equipment fair value sebesar 570.000, accumulated depreciation 0, returning earning minus 430.000, accumulated other comprehensive income 0, Januari 1, 2021, beginning balance sebesar 570.000, accumulated depreciation 0, returning earning minus 430.000, accumulated other comprehensive income 0, Desember 31, 2021, depreciation accumulated depreciation-nya sebesar 190.000. Retaining earning minus 190.000. Desember 31, 2021, transfer for AOCI, retained earning minus 10.000, accumulated other comprehensive income sebesar 10.000. Desember 31, 2021, revaluation equipment fair value-nya minus 120.000, accumulated depreciation minus 190.000, returning earning 30.000, accumulated other comprehensive income-nya sebesar 40.000. Desember 31, 2021, item ending balance, equipment fair value sebesar 450.000, accumulated depreciation 0, retained earning minus 600.000, accumulated other comprehensive income sebesar 50.000. On January 2, 2022, Nokia sells the equipment for 450.000 Nokia makes the following entry to record this transaction. Debit cash sebesar 450.000, kredit equipment sebesar 450.000. Nokia do not record a gain or loss because the carrying amount of the equipment is the same as is for value. Next. Nokia transfers the remaining balance in accumulated other comprehensive income to retaining earning. Jurnalnya di debit accumulated other comprehensive income sebesar 50.000, kredit retained earning sebesar 50.000. Even though the equipment has appreciated in value by 50.000, the company does not recording this gain in the income. Okay, thank you.
Oke, sekian presentasi dari kelompok kami. Mohon maaf bila ada salah kata, salah etika, maupun salah perbuatan. Mohon dimaklumi atau kurang nyaman karena tempatnya. Sekian, saya mewakili kelompok saya. Thank you.